And here's the thing. Here was the fundamental change. Remember we talked about those characteristics? This is what the table, cream, glide, nudity. Here was the big thing is I went in and pushed the table aside and put down a mat. That was such a fundamental, foundational shift that the therapists were like, we don't like this guy. This is anarchy. This is madness. What is this guy doing? And I'm like, improving your industry so you can make more money and work more effectively and save your hands. And they're like, no, there's no way. This is impossible. And I'm like, I'm going to show you in 10,000 videos on my YouTube channel. My subscription service has over 800 hours in it. You can subscribe right now for free for your first month and $7 a month after. Like, I'm not lying. I'm going to keep showing you. I know you don't believe it because you've never seen anybody in your culture do it, but it is possible.
It's so dope that you had the balls to do that, and it's crazy that people are still so close-minded about things. Hearing you explain this about you jumping out there and doing time massages is like me looking at anything else out there, you know, somebody trying to be professional and be their own boss, and like how people are just, they're bucking at it. They're just like, no, that's not it. That's not what we do. But it's just like, what? People want this. People need this.
There's, like, do you know much about painting? Because we talked a lot about food. Do you know much about painting?
I paint a little bit. I like to paint.
Because I was in art class, and teachers didn't like me sometimes, including that art teacher. I had her in first grade. First period. One, don't have me early in the morning. I'm not good in the morning. I didn't drink coffee at that time. And then also, like, I was watching Bob Ross recently. And Bob Ross used this one specific style called wet on wet. And I was like, what? Wet on wet? What's that? And basically what it was is you'd have like one layer of paint and then you add another layer of paint on top. But when you cross them, the fact that it's wet like changes the physical structure of the paint so you could make like clouds. You could take like a blue background and put some white on it. And then you could like smear it in a way where it gave it like some layering. And I was like, oh, wow, that's cool. I didn't know that. I'm not a painter, right?
Yeah.
There are so many different ways to paint, including airbrush, paintbrush, Jackson Pollock, fling and paint, finger painting, charcoal. Like, it's just, there's so many different tools, but massage therapy as an art form has not completely blossomed yet. That's all. Yeah. Like, people think it's just me promoting what I do, and I'm like, no. Okay, so let's look at it this way. Aquatic therapies. Where in the United States can you go and get aquatic therapy? Water-based therapeutic services?
I don't know. I haven't.
And there are no major facilities in the United States who offer it. Because the marketplace is not expanded. You know, here in Austin, I can name maybe one or two Ethiopian restaurants, maybe two Jamaican restaurants, a handful of Indian or Vietnamese restaurants. And then depending on where you are in the country, there are some food cultures and representations that aren't available at all.
That's facts.
And that's the same thing with bodywork. Bodywork culture to me is just as complex and diversified from regional variations and cultures, but there's only a very limited representation in the American marketplace. You literally have to dig to find something like, you know, what I'm practicing. Kristen, my colleague and apprentice, I work with her, and at one point Kristen got nervous because she was like, oh, there's gonna be other people gonna do this, there's gonna be competition. And I was like, Kristen, there's 2 of us in Austin. There's 1.6 million people here.
Yeah.
Like 100 people a day move here.
Yeah.
Like, we can't even.
You can't touch all those people.
No, like, listen, you can make wonderful cookies. You know as well as I do that once you mass produce, things have to change.
For sure.
Because there's only one of you. And that was one thing I had about like food production, by the way. There was something about mass production in a restaurant, or I call mass production, but that I didn't particularly enjoy. Because I wanted to focus on the details of like one specific dish that I was making one at a time. And when I had to run 6 burners and a grill, I was like, oh man. Yeah.